So, how are you going today, Angie?
I'm good, thank you.
It's good to be here, isn't it?
Yes, very good.
Out in the outside world for change.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask a couple of questions. You're going to be up to that?
As long as they're not too curly.
I think that should be okay. So we're always talking about people's spiritual career mostly. That's what we're doing here at the moment with Love is the Way. So for you, I'm going to ask you, do you remember how old you were when you first realised you had psychic or spiritual abilities?
I don't remember exactly how old I was,
Yes.
but I remember having some really vivid dreams. And I also remember being at primary school and being extremely sensitive to energy, especially when it came to going into the school canteen for lunch. I used to actually get very, very anxious. And it wasn't until later on in my life I realised I was probably picking up on other people's energy.
Yeah, I have the same opinion of that too. Rather large lunchroom with people trying to behave themselves.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not much fun.
No.
So you began actualising those capabilities at some time. Do you remember that?
Not until much later.
Right.
My mum passed away in 2000, and I seemed to undergo quite a lot of changes in my beliefs and the feelings that I had with people's energy. That's when I finished my diploma of remedial massage, and prior to that I'd studied psychology at uni, and I guess I was taking a very scientific approach to everything, being a bit sceptical, wanting to see evidence, just processing things in my mind as to whether they were real or imagined. So in 2000 things were actually starting to become more clear that I could feel people's energy, sense people's energies. So during that remedial massage course I had some interesting experiences, and certainly that opened my eyes. And around that time too I had a tarot reading from somebody who was a pretty amazing tarot reader. Am I allowed to mention that to you?
I've heard that before, but I don't believe
No?
it.
No, the tarot reader was actually Michael, and he told me that I was already a Reiki teacher, master, and that I would become an amazing healer. That's it in a nutshell. It went on for quite a long time, more than what I'm saying here, but yeah, I said Reiki, I don't know what Reiki is. So here I am, a long time after that, quite a number of years after that, realising that what you said was true. Pretty incredible.
Glad to hear that. So it's not that many years really, is it? No.
No. So when my mum passed away, I was in a year 9. She died on the 31st of July. And my birthday was the 9th of August. So I was going from a year 9 into a year 1 on the 9th of August. So it was new beginnings, and that's when all the spiritual stuff and intuitive feelings started to really become quite more noticeable.
So in that sense, you've done all these modalities. What would be your favourite one? Is it herbalism, the psychology, the astrology, Reiki?
I love them all. I love the psychology part of it, although I'm not a psychologist because I chose not to be. I didn't like labelling people, so I chose counselling more than I decided that counselling was more appropriate, where you wouldn't be labelling people, you'd be actually helping them to find out what the root causes of their attitudes and their beliefs and their thought patterns are. Herbalism was the next best thing to becoming a doctor, because I really loved finding out about what the body did and how to help the body in illness and disease. I kind of missed the boat with becoming a doctor, so I enrolled in the herbal medicine course at Newcastle Uni, and did that. It opened lots of things up for me, lots of realizations about herbal medicine and where the active ingredients for some medicines have actually originated from.
Mm.
So they're synthetic versions, and they don't work as well as the synergistic plant medicine.
Mm.
And then Reiki was kind of another thing I stumbled onto because of a personal need for it. I tried Reiki with my Reiki teacher, Wayne, and really enjoyed it. It gave me a lot of benefit, so I decided to start studying it. And I love teaching Reiki now to people because they can experience their own energy and they can tap into other people's energy. They've got the innate ability there. The Reiki workshop, especially Reiki 1, actually just attunes people to that energy and opens them back up to it.
Mm-hmm. Let's go to sleep. Thank you. Give her that. So you consider yourself more of an energy healer rather than a Reiki individual? Are you sort of quite solid on following the Reiki way? Or?
I use a multitude of things when I'm working. So when I'm doing an energy healing, I use the symbols that I've learned in Reiki.
Yes.
And some other Reiki symbols that I was taught when I reached master level. And I use, I believe I'm channeling. I've actually had someone see spirit guides around me when I've been working, and I know that I'm channeling. So the energy is coming through me as a conduit.
Mm.
I'm just the conduit for that energy, and it comes through. And then I also get intuitive messages quite a lot of the time when I'm working with people. It tells me a little bit about what's happening for them, so I can actually talk to the person about those messages that come through. And yeah, I feel as though everything that I do, all of the modalities that I offer, are actually complementary to each other.
Mm-hmm. I believe our discussion, you also do sound and use crystals as well, is that correct?
Yep. I use solfeggio chimes, and they're related to chakra points. They are also related to parts of the body and organ systems. So I'm sensing now how they can help with opening chakras and clearing them and balancing them so the body can function in a more efficient and comfortable way.
Mm-hmm. So what would be your favourite crystal to use? I mean, you call your business Emittering. Would that be one of your favourites for any chance?
It is one of my favourites.
Yes.
I love tourmaline. I'm particularly attracted at the moment to green tourmaline, but I'm looking more and more into that to try and acquire some of that. But yeah, I love all crystals for all different purposes.
Mm-hmm. You're attracting yourself to the energy of heart by the sounds of things if you're looking at green.
Absolutely.
If I have anything to do with crystals, I would say that.
I feel as though I'm actually going through, or I have gone through a process of my heart really opening, and the green is definitely assisting with that. I mean, I've got my moldavite, which has helped with that too.
Yes, excellent. And what do you feel is your greatest gift at the moment? What do you think is going to encapsulate what you do as a gift?
I like helping people move forward.
Yeah.
And to try and unravel for them what's going on in their life so that they can get a clearer picture of where they should be headed. To actually understand why things are happening to them. So even using the Galactic astrology and the ordinary astrology helps them to understand themselves better and the relationships that they're having with other people.
And recently, I believe, as I know because I've done it too, you've spent some time with Julia Velaz's course in quantum soul healing.
Yes.
And now you'd consider yourself a galactic astrologer. I certainly do. I think you're a good one. And so you picked up that rather quickly, in my opinion. How do you feel about it?
Well,
and what do you use it for?
It was something I was a bit surprised that I was that I took up, because when I first looked at it, I was a little bit skeptical about how we would connect or where we originated from in terms of the galactic connections. But I'm discovering a lot of, I love looking at families and looking at where the families have come from similar places, and the healing that can happen with that for them as a family, in an ancestral way. So I'm in the process of looking at my own family a bit more closely at the moment. Yeah.
Yes, we know that healing the ancestral lines is rather dynamic and important for humanity to move on and ascend. You agree with that one?
Absolutely. We need to lessen the burdens of the emotions that we're carrying.
Yeah.
For ourselves on this journey, but also for the others that preceded us, connected to us with their DNA, to be able to clear that energy so that we can be more open to what's going to happen next.
So have you looked at your own galactic astrology? Do you feel like you're from another place?
I do. I get little glimpses of things. Certainly, in the interview with Julia, after I'd finished the course, she pointed out that in past lives I've actually done a lot of the things that I'm doing now, and I wasn't really given much credit for it, or people didn't believe that I had the knowledge, and that's why I've been studying all my life.
Not to prove it to people, or prove it to yourself.
Just prove it to people, I think. Yeah.
Well, you don't need to prove it to yourself, do you?
No. And also meeting other people and realising that there's soul DNA connections with those people.
Yeah.
Finding soul family, it's just amazing. It's
a rather amazing effect of the galactic side of it, isn't it? Now, do you still sort of grab hold of assistants like guides, or do you have any guides who walk this planet at the moment, or are they more unseen?
I have different times when I feel different assistants. I don't think I tune into anyone in particular, but I know that Archangel Michael's very, very prominent as a guide for me. I think that I do get assistance from possible people that have passed over. That I know. I get little reminders and voices about things that are happening. And I'm also connecting with people who have crossed over with some of my clients, and messages from them about them being guides for the client. So I think it's all kind of like, it's opening up more and more every day. But it's about clearing my own thoughts, my own emotions, so that I can really tune into those guides and become a better healer.
Yeah. Would you put down past guidance to one or two people, perhaps? People who have been in your life, perhaps?
Yeah, I think my dad's very prominent with assistance for me. He comes through in the most funny ways sometimes, but that's one way I know it's him. And yeah, I think I have had messages. I know I've had messages from other sources as well.
Cool. Just move it down a bit. Thanks. All right, there's two questions interesting. One would be the greatest gift in regards to your career. What would that be? And secondly, what would be the greatest gift or hope you'd have for humanity? We'll go with the first one first.
The greatest gift with regard to my career?
Yes.
Just being able to follow the path that I've followed since 2000, as they were like stepping stones. I've met some of the most amazing people on my journey through that. Teachers and clients, because clients always teach me about myself as well. And just being just being appreciated and loved by people that I do help.
Mm-hmm. And for humanity, hope and wish?
I think my wish for humanity, for me to help humanity, is just to assist people onto their right path, so that they know what is happening to them on their journey. They can talk to me about that and perhaps see a bit of a clearer path by just changing some beliefs and attitudes, and dealing with the energy that they're feeling. And one of those things is being able to heal themselves. I think that's a really important tool that people can learn, is just to have the confidence to tune into themselves and heal themselves in a very easy way with Reiki or whatever they choose.
And do you feel that perhaps planet Earth has a special place in the universe, or special part to play in some way? And would you see humanity really participating in that process? And where would you see humanity and this planet being in about 20 or even 50 years? It's hard to say 20 these days, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Particularly being in my early 60s, I'm not sure. And having that thought about what's happened in my lifetime so far, I would say that I would hope that humanity has woken up to itself. I'm sure that's going to happen very, very soon. It's happening as we speak. It's been happening for a long time, and I'm hoping that humanity can turn itself around by realizing what is going on in the background, the things that we don't get told about, and to examine what we're being told in terms of mainstream media, and even through spiritual guidance, making sense of it all and making choices that are based on educational research, people doing their own research and educating themselves about what's really happening. So yeah, what was the question?
Pretty much that. But planet Earth itself as a place in the universe, do you think?
Definitely. Yeah. I'm doing a lot of thinking, but also searching for the answers to that question. We're not the only planet that has life on it, intelligent life. I'm sure about that. And through Galactic Astrology, understanding where our origins are and the importance of that for humanity moving forward. But yes, I would like to think that the galactic side of things will help us through this as well. Not directly, but indirectly.
Sure. That's an interesting question I would think of. Is if you could talk to somebody who had been either walking this planet or not walking this planet recently, who would that be, and what would you want to say?
Apart from my dad, I was with my dad when he passed, so I had a bit of an insight about how he crossed over. I'd like to talk to Jesus if I could, and I have had him identified as a guide in the past. I'd like to talk to my friend Ken, because he passed over last year, and he I think he would have a good idea of what's actually happening in the background there. The recent update in the news from the other side.
The news reporter. For spiritual activities and planetary activities.
Yeah.
Yes, I did speak to Ken, but I'd never met him, so interesting. I agree. So I like what's been said so far, but what would you finalise this chat with? What would you like to say about spirituality in general, and what humanity could learn from your journey? perhaps?
I think everyone should just examine what's happened to them during their lifetime. Think about the guidance that they might have had from either their spirituality or maybe guides that they didn't realise they had. Everyone's journey is different, and at certain times of our lives, that's why astrology is really interesting. Certain times of our lives we might need more guidance than at others. So maybe looking into what you can do to help yourself through your journey so that you don't keep making the same mistakes. I think that's a really good thing to think about. And being the best version of yourself, I think that just about sums it up.
I like the word authentic.
Authentic, yeah. Being the best authentic version of yourself.
That's a variation on a day basis sometimes. We're always growing, I believe. Anyway, I'd like to thank you for this little chat, even with the background noise. You get that? You come outside in the country and you get city noise. Doesn't matter.
You do.
That should be okay on the recording. So thank you.
Thank you.
It's been great talking to you.
It's always good to talk to you.
We'll probably have some more Love is the Way conversations sooner or later. Probably sooner.
Yes, we've got the eclipse coming up on the 9th, so I'm going to talk to you about that.
I've heard that, yes.
Being the experienced astrologer that you are, and there may even be some channeling happening through that.
You never know.
Thank you.
Thank you again. We'll see you next time.
Love is the way.
Love is the way. Bye.